Welcome back. Nigeria's Debt Management Office, DMO, has released a calendar for government borrowing via the bond market in the first quarter of 2016. And the schedule shows the first auction is due on January 20, with a reopening of February 2010 15.54% bond worth between 40 and 60 billion naira, and a new issuance of the same amount maturing in year 2026. Debt auction in February will hold on the 10th, with the reopening of the February 2020 papers worth between 40 and 60 billion naira, and the reopening also of the January 2026 bond worth the same amount. And the last quarterly debt was billed for March 16th with a new year 2036 issuance of 40 to 60 billion naira, and the reopenings of February 2020 and January 2026 instruments. Well, I'm now being joined via telephone by the head Fixed Income Securities Africa, Mr. Godwin Ikwako. Good afternoon, Mr. Ikwako.
Good afternoon.
Right, the Debt Office has released a calendar showing total FGN bond auctions could top 370 billion in the first quarter of 2016. Give us your thoughts on this.
Yeah, that's what we see today.
Hello, Mr. Ikwako.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you hear me?
Yeah, frankly, the line is now that clear.
Okay, let me repeat myself. We talked about the debt calendar that has just been released by the bond market, and which could top about 370 billion in the first quarter. We would like you to give us your thoughts on that.
Yeah. Okay. If you check out the budget recently released by the federal government, the presidency, you will discover that the financing part has the domestic borrowing of 954 billion. This is where this federal government fund comes in, because the federal government will look inwardly to borrow from the domestic scene. So this is where the market has been looking out for, for the release of this calendar, which is a guide towards investment locally. And so looking at the volume that was earmarked for this, effectively 984 billion as I said earlier, you could see that they've hit the ground running. So on the first quarter, which is January, February, and March, they are built. They have started moving on with their planned project. And that is about 3 billion now on the offer.
Okay, Mr. Ikwako. Now, the bonds that will be reopened are coming in at around 15.54%. Are we back to the period when yields of FGN bonds could near 20%?
No, what happened is that, there are bonds that have not reached the size, the tradable market. So what they do is that on subsequent auctions, they reopen it for those that will accept it. And so if you look at that calendar, you see that 5-year bond was subsequently reopened and will be reopened on January 20 and then February 10 and again on the March 16. So until they get the size that will be stable in the market, they continue to reopen it. And going by that, and also what the market is trading in the market, that is size. But if you look at the other meaning of it, you'll be talking about there is a new location coming on for 10 years. But you could not see the percentage that the 1 year now, but the auction will be that. And if you look at the range amount, there is also 40 to 60 billion, the range of 40 to 60 billion. And that is also what we are concerned about, because many people will market to react to that. And subsequently they will reopen it, just like that. So it's not as if something on the offing, but just the characteristics of the market.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Ikwako. The network is not just friendly with us today. Well, that was Godwin Ikwako, Head Fixed Income Securities Africa. And that's it on the program. Thank you for watching. I'm Chimizi Obiwagu.